Hey guys, it's Rusty with Rusty Seasoning with Everystuff, and you're watching Louisiana on Fire.
What's up, Louisiana? You're back again for episode 2, Louisiana on Fire. I'm Tim Davis, and this is Mr. Rusty Noel with Rusty Seasoning for Everystuff. So we left off with that. We're gonna hop right into that. So the cook-offs, like I said before, you gave us the opportunity to do that for you, and we actually were on the news with you as well. Yep. So how many cookouts have you done, and do you do a year?
Oh man, I don't know exact numbers because we do so many, but we were counting plaques, paddles, trophies. We were counting this up the other day, and we're over 200 plaques, trophies, paddles, and the jambalaya side, and we're over 300 in the gumbo cook-offs.
Come on.
Now, some gumbo cook-offs got 3 categories, like we did the Fur Festival. I was at the Fur Festival. I come out first, second, third in 3 categories and won the grand championship. So you know that's a 4 awards in one cook-off. You know, and then turn around the following weekend and got a first and a second in chicken and sausage and seafood.
Right.
So you know that's 6 in 2 weekends. So we do it a lot. I've been doing it a long time. So we're over 300 in the gumbo side.
Yeah.
Black pot cook-offs, that's my specialty. I like black pot cook-offs, especially if seafood's allowed. You got to kind of watch the rules. But if seafood's allowed, I tell people, man, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And I'm going to throw this out there for my Lake Charles friends that are watching. If I can get to a black pot cook-off in Lake Charles, that's definitely shooting fish in a barrel, man. Oh, yeah, I can let them use my seasoning and they still can't cook. No, I'm just joking.
That's good. Good luck. Look, Mr. Rusty cooked for us today. Now, is the pastelaya that he showed me and Trent how to do while we were on the news with him?
Same one.
My wife, shout out to my wife Sabrina, because Mr. Rusty asked last night, hey, y'all want me to cook something? She said, pastelaya. So he's like, consider it done. Some of the best pastelaya I've ever had.
And people follow me, they know, man, I'm not a fan of pastelaya. I always call it Cajun hamburger helper. I say, man, pastelaya is for people who don't know how to cook a jambalaya, and I make fun, I do, but I really make a pretty good one. I've won with it a bunch.
Yes.
Once they started having pastelaya cook-offs, the weekend that you guys won the People's Choice, man, I didn't even place. I got my tail kicked in Lake Charles. I said, I said it must be the same judges that can't cook down there. But there's a group of friends that cook together, and we all kind of cooked the same. They were really good, and. But one thing about competitions, right, you never know what a judge's taste is.
Yeah, right.
The reason there's 100 brands of seasoning is everybody got different tastes.
Yeah.
So I went and tasted the top 3. They were all a little salty. Every one of them had Tony Sassery's in their booth. Mm-hmm. And the noodles were mushy. Every one of the top 3.
That's one of my biggest.
But my thing is, if they place a top 3, a little bit salty and a little bit mushy, the judges were consistent that day. That's what they liked. That's what they liked. And look, I don't change. You know, I see these guys at cook-offs, and man, they might win one or win a couple, and then they don't win. They start changing everything.
Yeah.
Well, you're chasing judges that ain't gonna be there next time.
That's true. That's true.
You're chasing a ghost.
Yeah.
So don't go chase a judge. Just do your thing.
Right.
Do your thing and cook. And you got a whole new batch of judges. One of the old guys, man, he's won a few world championships with the Jack Daniels World Championships. And he gave me some of the best advice. He said, man, just because you don't win that day, don't mean you had bad food. Just means you had bad judges. Cook another day.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go.
You live to cook another day.
But that football part of me, I get butt hurt. If I don't win, I get butt hurt. I'm the whole way home, I'm pouting like a baby and, you know, mad.
Yeah.
I'm competitive. You know,
right.
you go, you want to win. You try to make sure it's for a good cause. That way, if you don't win, at least you can somewhat tell yourself, well, we did it for a good cause. That's all that matters.
That's true. That's true.
But it still don't matter. I still get mad.
I should have won.
I should have won. Them damn judges.
That's good, though. So you've been winning and everything, and you got the seasoning. And you said how you got into this. It's not for the money or anything, but like, how did you decide on the seasoning and the name?
So we used to always we had a group of us that kind of like a cooking club. We'd drink and cut up, and
Oh, I got to join that club.
yeah, we would
Maybe
always
not the
say,
cooking part, but the
yeah,
drinking
right.
part.
And we would always say, man, how's that? Man, I'd put that stuff, you know, that's good on every stuff. Or, man, we put every stuff in there.
Yeah.
There was just something our group would always say. Man, what you got in there? Man, we got every stuff in that pot. And so that kind of stuck. So I did a cook-off and won. And I had a buddy had a seasoning. And, man, I took a picture with his can and posted on social media. And we had a pretty good-sized following then. Nothing like we have now. Thank God it's built up. And, man, he called me and said, man, we're sold out. He said, man, you posted that. And, man, we sold out our seasoning. We blew up. My wife was like, man, you didn't even use his. You know, you mix the stuff you mixed in, because I have a KitchenAid mixer. I would blend my own, been blending it for years. And I use my own because it was my taste. That's what I like.
Right.
And she said, you know, you didn't even use the seasoning. So you lied to them people when you posted this picture. I'm like, I'm just trying to help a buddy. Ain't nothing wrong with trying to help a buddy out.
Yeah.
So I got another buddy with a seasoning. Same thing. Boy, I took a picture with his can and, whoa.
Over the shelf.
Called me, man, thank you, man. Man, if you need some more seasoning, and I'm like, man, I don't need no more. I'll take a picture with that can because it wasn't even open.
Yeah,
you know, so same thing. Finally, she goes, hey, man, how about you put your stuff in a can and we sell ours out?
Yeah.
The stuff you make in the back. So like everybody does, you run to one of the local packers with your recipe, and what people don't understand is how hard that is. Because you go in a store and you buy garlic powder.
Yeah.
Just garlic powder. There's one ingredient.
Right.
There's 10 garlic powders at Walmart or Albertsons or Super One or Nunu's. There's 10 garlic powders. They're all different colors and they all taste different.
Yeah.
So then you got powder, you got granules, you got to figure all that out. So because I gave them my recipe, it didn't taste like mine.
Yeah.
So we went 3 months back and forth of samples. And another thing too, you see people, man, the first thing they do with your seasoning, they put it in their hand and they try it.
Right.
Oh, that's this or it's that. Until you cook with it, you're not getting a true flavor. Period.
Oh.
Period. You can put it on, lick it off your hand.
Right.
Or I posted a picture today. My grandbaby was licking the can. Like she shakes it, and when it gets on the top, she licks the top of the can. And I'm like, well, you keep that can. That one's yours. But no matter how good it is in your hand or how bad it is in your hand, it's going to cook different. So when you get your samples, you had to go home, you had to cook a meal, you had to do something that you kind of knew, and you want something like a rice and gravy or something.
Yeah,
you don't want a lot of flavors or something you have to add more flavors to besides your seasoning. You want something kind of, and you go back and forth, right? It takes a while, and then you finally hit it, and you're like, yep, that's the one. And then we batch test to make sure. I still got a case of each, 2 cases of each from the first batch I ever got.
Really?
We got our first batch at the beginning of November of last year. So we're 8 months in, and we just hit 50,000 cans that we've sold, and we're not in any chain stores.
Man.
No chain stores.
No, I got some can. I got the black can and I got the blue can myself, and I did get them from New News.
The black can is special.
Yeah.
That's what we cook with on competition day, because people think it's the blue can that I added heat to. That's why I call it more spice, but it's not. It's a whole different recipe. It's close to the blue can.
Yeah.
But we backed off on the sodium. Instead of cranking the heat way up, we did add a little bit of bite to it, but you back off the sodium and it brings everything else out. Wow. And for cooking on competition day, now I can control the salt level. None of our seasons have MSG. Some of my friends that have MSG in their seasons, not gonna like this because I always post, we don't have MSG, because when you make your seasoning that good, you don't need it. And they get a little upset, a little butthurt, but I don't care.
Yeah.
My wife works for a cardiologist. First thing she told me, you're not putting MSG in nothing.
There you go, right.
So none of our seasons have MSG. I'll tell you this, to just see myself. I put 3/4 of a can in a shaker of that black can and the blue can, and added MSG myself, mixed it up. It'll make you want to chew your arm off that much. Like it's good.
Yeah.
But it's not good for you. So we just said, all right, here we go. But it's been a process. Now we've got the chain stores. We've had our meetings. We've got them set. We just got our vendor number Friday. We're the largest chain store in the country.
Come on.
And they have a sister store that's twice as big. One thing I was proud of is I didn't have to have an investor. We started this with a little bit of money, and we didn't take a penny out. We just keep flipping product. Well, this was a game changer. I had to make some phone calls and get some help.
Yeah.
Because not only did I have to do that for this size, I had to go to a whole nother packer. So now I have seasoning coming from 2 different places, and we're at a 3rd packer. Hopefully have our final samples. We might have 3 manufacturers making seasoning for us.
That's amazing.
It's amazing and scary because you want it to be consistent, right?
True.
And when you're coming from 3 places, but so far the 2 I got, every batch test we do is spot on. The color, the taste, the heat, the salt. We're not considered low sodium, but we're half the sodium as most.
Yeah.
We run about 160 on the black can, and 170 on the blue can, which is low,
right?
Compared to most. We're half of the green can on the market, but it's here now. It turned into a business.
Yeah.
We're fortunate enough to have the family to help. I work out of town in the oil and gas industry.
Yes.
So I leave Monday to go to Covington. I come back either Thursday night or Friday morning, depending on if I have stuff. So seasoning gig is a Monday morning. I load my vendors up. They write me a check. They go to the stores. And Friday afternoon, the locals, I go to the local stores and stock those guys up.
Yeah.
And then on the weekend, anything else we can hit in between. Try to make sure they stocked up. But right now, we're kind of a family show, man.
Y'all rocking and rolling. I know you, because I remember this too. You had told me and Trent. Shout out to Trent Michael Myers, my neighbor. And you said with when you go to the store, how you notice something is like what has more salt in it because of like the price. I think you said
the price.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me the other day, man, why would I pay $5 for your can when I can buy Tony Sassery's for $2.50? Well, one, the green can's made in millions, right? Like they're your largest. Yeah. Ain't nobody ever gonna take that from them. It's like Tabasco, just household.
Right. Yeah.
They're just that guy.
Yeah.
But the majority of their can is salt. Salt's your cheapest ingredient. So even before you look at a label, look at the price. All your cans in the $3 and under range is going to be high in sodium.
Yeah.
Because that's your filler.
Right.
The more ingredients you got, the better ingredients you got, the higher your price.
Right.
But I still want to keep mine at a price point where I'm not trying to get rich.
Yeah.
I want people to be able to take it and afford it.
Yeah.
We're right at the $5 mark. One of the reasons we're not on Amazon yet is I'm going round and round with them. I see some of my friends that are selling on Amazon, and their cans are selling for $10 a can. They're selling.
Yeah.
The people up north that can't get their hands on it, they're buying it.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm like, man, I couldn't stomach selling $10 a can to people. I feel like I'm ripping them off. Until I got into the whole Amazon thing, they take most of that. So for me to sell it at a price point that's in the stores on Amazon, even if I don't do Prime and do shipping, I'll lose money per can of every can I sell. So I'm like, man, I can't give it to them.
Right.
Now, the only place, we're here at the beautiful Acadian Village, man. This is and I told you, I did my cookbook shoot here earlier today because we have our new cookbook coming out. This is my favorite place in the whole world.
Yeah.
Like I could literally move into one of these buildings right here. This one was built in 1820.
Wow.
Matter of fact. But Lark, for special needs kids and adults, this is where they make their money, through the tours and the general store. If you come to the general store here, and I advertise and I send people here, we give them 100% of my cookbooks and cans. We do not even cover our cost. We don't take one penny. They call me and tell me I need 5 cases. I'm bringing 5 cases of each. It's theirs. I will support this cause.
Your heart
Zero.
is amazing.
$5 a can, they get $5 a can. I don't want a penny from it.
Yeah.
And same thing with my cookbooks. They sell them for $20. They keep $20.
Wow.
I stock them up every 2 weeks over here. I'm stocking them up for free.
And that's what I was going to ask you about the cookbook too. And how many cookbooks you got out?
So I was talked into doing the first run of 5,000 cookbooks, and I said, man, ain't nobody buying 5,000 cookbooks. I'm gonna be giving these as Christmas gifts and birthday presents. You know, my grandbaby's gonna get her open up her stocking and have a Rusty's cookbook in it because I gotta get rid of them, right?
Yeah.
The first 2 weekends that the cookbooks were done and I had them in possession, 5,000 cookbooks in 2 weekends.
2 weekends.
Two cook-offs. We sold them between Facebook and the 2 cook-offs. We sold 5,000 cookbooks. So I made another 5,000 cookbooks. They're gone.
Yeah.
There is 5 cookbooks that I know of. I have a master copy. I have 5 cookbooks that I know of. 2 are sitting here waiting to be purchased for them that were good cause, and 3, as of 2 weeks ago, were at Chops in Broussard.
Wow.
That's the only 5 I know that's still around. Now, my son helped me with this cookbook, so there were some typos in it. There was a few things I want to change. I found out he decided to go all tech and AI on me to where he could read it in the app and it would print everything out.
Right.
Yeah, well, some Cajun words just don't go. AI ain't caught up with the Cajun folk yet,
that is
right?
absolutely right.
So,
I've noticed that.
So there are a few typos, and it's not nothing major. Like you know, oil would be OLL, and they didn't have the I. And you can figure it out. It's nothing major.
Right.
We made those corrections. I did another batch. Sold out.
Yeah.
There's some things I want to add into the new cookbook. Believe it or not, as competitive and as competition as I am, I want to add a section for 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30-gallon black pots, gumbo, jambalaya. I want to put a competition section in that cookbook and tell everybody exactly what I do for a competition.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And somebody will say, oh, man, are you telling everybody your secrets? Well, I can't cook the same one twice. I could try.
Right.
I cooked 2 because I needed 2 pots full, identical.
Yeah.
One I think would have won any competition. One was pretty rough.
Yeah.
And I cooked them identical and put the same stuff in them. Just depends, you know, you don't know. But I want to do a competition section. So it'll have all the stuff from the first cookbook, a little bit of ad, and a better cover.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we come out here today and shot the cover, because I want this place in my cover, you know. So we're hoping to get that done within the next month, to get that out.
Yeah. Now, look, I wanted to go and shift gears, and I wanted to ask you, because you've been a coach. You've been a coach for a long time and everything. So tell us about what you guys started and how that's still going as well.
So my son played football, rec league here in Lafayette. And, man, it was just a weighted thing. And he was a big kid, right? So, man, he's got to play lineman. He's got to do this because there's a big old orange sticker on his helmet. And I'm like, man, when he gets to school, there's no such thing. So he needs to learn now. So what we did was we started our own program. And, man, when we did select football, people, man, select baseball was going around forever. Like, you can't do that with football? So, yeah. Well, man, we would practice all week and not even have anybody to play on the weekends. But I was calling people in Houston, New Orleans, and man, I can remember on Wednesdays, man, we got a game. I go to practice, and they're like, all right. So we were actually practicing for a game. But we did this for years. Our Swampcats have been around, I think 12 years now. I have to go look, 12, 13 years. I think 13 years. Out of the 10 classes that have graduated high school, I do have to go look at the numbers because it changed some, but we have 80-something, 86, 87 that went on to play college football.
Wow.
Out of just 10 classes. So we're averaging over 8 kids per class signing to play college football. And it might be D1. I got them at Alabama. I got them at LSU. I got them all over. Might be at St. Olaf University in Podunk, Connecticut.
Yeah.
I try to give them all the same advice because they'll ask me, oh, coach. And I got parents ask me, right? Oh, coach, my kid's going to LSU. And I'm like, no, he ain't. No, he ain't.
Yeah.
Just because you're an LSU fan don't mean your kid's an LSU player. They get the top 1% of the best 1%. You know, I mean, that's just what separates. There's a fine line when you're looking at them D1 schools in the top 15, top 20.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between 1 and 20.
Yeah.
It's just maybe a little lacking a little depth in certain positions, you know.
Yeah.
But I try to tell you, get in where you fit in. We have connections, and I can get you to play college football and probably get your school paid for. Don't know what color you're gonna wear on the weekends.
Yeah.
And I used to tell my son that, man, I don't care what color. If they paying for your school, it could be whatever. I'm rocking that jersey that's paying for my son to go to school and go get your education, right?
Yeah.
Our son was, he had his mind set on TCU. He was TCU bound. Second game or third game of the season, blew his knee out. And as fast as he had scholarship offers, they went away. And it really was rough on him. So I watched him, man, he gained weight, just depressed. And Coach Hud at UL was at the time, offered him a spot on the staff. And man, he took it and been a new kid ever since. He stayed there from when Hud was there up until last year.
Yeah.
And he's coaching at Lafayette High, making a difference. And he's going to be teaching in the business side of things, the business classes. That's what he likes. And then we've had a few that we've coached that you know, went on to the league. Elijah Mitchell played with us, you know, and those kids, you know. Trevor Beggy, you know. Who am I thinking? I know I'm missing because you put me on the spot. I was in food.
You got so many kids though that's done it.
But we've had a few, man, and I used to always tell those kids, I don't want you to come back and have to sponsor the team or give me money. Elijah and I are working on, you know, we've talked about some things, big things,
right?
You know, property, stadiums, fields, things like that. Man, Elijah's one injury away from just making it huge, man. You know, he's a beast, and unfortunately, he's always had a couple of injuries that hemmed him up. He had a shot to be Rookie of the Year his first year. You know, I mean, he was on that track. He was that man, and then, you know, knee injury. You know, but you know, we have kids coming through the pipeline that could be the next one. You know, it's fun to watch because I get a seat when they're 8 years old.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, Jonathan Brooks. You know, Jonathan Brooks was a Swampcat. So I just went. I had a deal with Jonathan Brooks' dad, Skip Brooks. Jonathan was on the TV show Friday Night Tykes back in the day when he was little. We picked Jonathan up when he was 9 years old. So he played with us from when he was 9 all the way till he aged out and went to high school. Jonathan was a cheat code, man. When it come to football, he was just different. He was built different. People talked about the kid with the blue helmet. That's all he wore was a blue helmet. He wore that same blue helmet for 4 years and wouldn't change his helmet. It was from the previous team that he did the TV show for, Yoakum Outlaws. So he'd come play with us. We're all solid, red, black, gray. He had a blue helmet. And people were like, man, that blue helmet kid's special. So, So even at 9 and 10, me and his dad would talk about, he said, man, when he gets drafted to the NFL, you got to cook that gumbo for your for his draft party. I'll be there.
Right.
Unfortunately, Jonathan's dad didn't even get to see him play down to college football. Skip died of kidney failure before Jonathan got to play college ball. Jonathan's played with a chip on his shoulder for his daddy ever since. Had an incredible run at University of Texas. He was in the Heisman talk at the beginning of this year with Malik Neighbors. You know, Jack Best played with us. You know, kids like that played in our program. Fitzgerald West. But so Jonathan was Texas High School Player of the Year, which it's not Player of the Year for single A or 2A or 5A. That award is the Player of the Year.
Whole state of Texas.
For the state of Texas. And if you know how state of Texas is, football,
that's,
it's gospel.
Yes.
You know, it's a religion in Texas. This kid put up video numbers weekly, like 300, 400, 500-yard games. I remember watching a game that he had 600-plus yards, and I'm like, what? 8 touchdowns. Hallettsville, Texas. I mean, you got to look at a map to find out. Unless you know somebody there, you don't know where Hallettsville's at. And Player of the Year. So he was in Heisman talk, tore his ACL. And I don't know if y'all remember, but in one of the playoff games, for him to get some snaps, they put him in there with his big knee braces right after his ACL surgery, just so he could get some snaps in the game to say, he got some snaps in the game.
Right.
But Jonathan was the first running back in the draft this year with the Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
So it's how good are you when you tore an ACL and you're still the first running back in the draft?
Yeah.
Of all the running backs that play college football.
Yeah.
You're the first running back to get taken in the draft, and you tore an ACL this year and was out the whole second half of your season.
Yeah.
And he's a stud.
Right.
Humble kid. It was fun because I got to be close with Robert Hunt that played at UL. He's from Texas too.
Right.
And man, Robert signed a $100 million year. He left the Dolphins as a free agent, and Carolina Panthers signed him as a left tackle, $100 million deal. Robert, his story and I's are kind of similar. Robert was sleeping on this couch and that couch, and Robert had a rough story. So to see a kid like that hit that deal, you're like, man, that's just good stuff, right? You want it to happen for that kid.
Yes.
So on draft night, knowing he was at the Panthers and he's been there already for a little while, he just got traded over there.
Yeah.
I called Robert on his cell phone and said, hey man, I'm here with your new running back. Jonathan Brooks. I said, yeah. I said, I need to swap numbers. That way you can show him the ropes, where to live, where to eat, where to sleep. And that was my advice to Elijah Mitchell. On his draft night, I cooked for his draft party, and I told Elijah. He said, what do I do? I said, well, first of all, you're going to California. You know, because our Swampcats go play for Nationals in California. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with California people, but they don't think like us.
Yeah.
We Cajun, we country. Some call us backwoods. I like to call it humble, nice, compassionate, caring. California's fast.
Oh yeah, very.
So my advice to him when we were talking to him was stick to the locals, the team.
Yeah.
Eat where they eat, live where they live, shop where they shop, until you learn. Especially a veteran that's been there. So I was blessed to be able to do that with Jonathan instantly.
Yeah.
I was able to call Robert, hand Jonathan the phone, and watch that conversation. ESPN was there doing the coverage, so they were recording their conversation and had it on there, and I thought that was just good stuff.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to a Carolinas game this year. I got to look at the schedule. They said pick one, a home game. And I'm going to cook at their house for them and do a party at their house. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
That's
cool
amazing.
deal,
the fact that you still stay in contact with those kids that you've been knowing since they were kids, and now they're grown men and they're providers and everything now, and they're living the dream. And the fact that you actually had a hand in guiding them to that dream, is,
And look, it's youth football.
Yeah.
So I am the first to tell you, on a skilled football set side, I didn't have a hand in that. Man, them kids get into high school, they get into weight training, that was after me.
Yeah.
But what I would like to think I had a hand in is making them disciplined, making their character better. And that translated into work ethic. And that helped them really take advantage of the coaches they had through. And people don't get that, man. There's organizations around the Acadiana area, man. They're just beating their chests if they win a youth championship, or, it's funny because I sit back and laugh. When they beat Lafayette Swampcats, they act like they won a Super Bowl. And I'm thinking, if that was your goal and not making that kid a better kid or a better young man, man, you're failing these children.
Yeah, right.
We have a saying, everybody puts nicknames or their names on the back of their jerseys. I don't allow it. Where the nameplate goes on the back of every jersey from when we started the program, it says it's bigger than football. And that's on everything we do. That's on our jerseys, that's on our warm-up shirts, that's on our championship rings that we get.
Yeah.
That saying it resonates for everybody.
Right.
And my only goal is to make sure the kids I coach understand that, football is nothing more than a vessel. It could take you to college, get you free education, could take you to the NFL. Could.
Right.
But the only guarantee in football is that it's going to end.
Yeah, that's true.
Might be in high school with an injury like my son.
Yeah.
Might be 15 years in the NFL. I hope so for him.
Yeah.
But it's going to end.
Yeah.
but there's no harm in using it to get that education or to get all of that stuff.
Right.
You know, use it as a vessel.
Yeah.
You know, get it paid for. Mom and daddy don't need to pay for college if you work hard and get your thing.
That's
Hit your
very true.
books.
Yeah.
You know, that's your guaranteed in the school.
Right. Yeah. We
That's your guaranteed in the school.
Absolutely. That's great.
But that's what we preach, man, and that's kind of how our life intertwines, between cooking and football.
Yeah. That's amazing. Look, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna switch gears because right now you got a big heart, great heart, spirit, family is great. Now we got to see if you can be trusted though. So we got the trust that can't be trusted. Will we're gonna do that? We're gonna spin that for a second and see if Mr. Rusty can be trusted or not.
All right.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring it over here in the shot. Get it over there. Make sure
the trust wheel.
That food right there because it smells good. All right.
Well, I'm definitely gonna feed y'all. One thing my grandma said: the world would be a better place if everybody lived by this motto. If you come in contact with somebody, they need to leave you full and happy. That's it. That's all that should matter in the world.
Every time we come around you, you have done that.
Full and happy. That's it.
You have done that.
That's
We're going to continue to do that for sure because I might take the pot. We'll see.
There you go.
So we're going to go and spin this. You give this a good spin. We're going to see if you can be trusted or not, Mr. Rusty. I hope it don't land on the same thing. It's been like, man, do it again.
Toilet paper.
It's been landing on that one for a while. It better not do enunciation. It better not. Okay, we can deal with that one.
All right.
So orange juice. Do you drink orange juice?
I do.
I feel like there's a but.
Well, better now, but as a big guy, acid reflux, right?
Oh.
So as much as I love orange juice, I even like orange juice mixed with a little high octane.
Yeah.
But I worry about the acid, but I love orange juice. I love orange juice.
So out of the orange juice though, are you a pulp-free guy? You like a little pulp?
I like a lot of pulp.
Really?
Man, I like pulp.
I feel like you're drinking that. You spit it out.
No, man, I like that. It gives you something like my gravy. You got to have stuff in it.
Yes.
You got to have substance.
Look, you know what? I did not take you for a pulp guy, but
substance, just like a gravy.
Yes. Well, you know what? Being that you got a big heart, Mr. Rusty, I'm gonna say you can be trusted.
All right.
I'm gonna say you can be trusted.
All right.
So I'm gonna put this back right here. We get that one. So look, Mr. Rusty, this is where we're gonna go, and we go close it out. But my question to you is, what's next for Mr. Rusty?
I'm at that point now where my daughter is getting married next month, September. So we're almost at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I got a son that's probably not far behind. We got an incredible, hopefully future daughter-in-law that we love, and I know my wife's gonna look at me crazy and think that I'm not telling the truth, but slowing down. She said I don't know how. And I'm gonna tell you what was a big part of this. It's always about me and cookoffs and doing this and doing this, and she supports everything I do.
Right.
That's why we've been married 28 years. But 2 weekends ago, last weekend, we went to Laurel, Mississippi, because that was one of her bucket lists. She's a hometown show fan and doing all that, and so we went. And I think being in Laurel, Mississippi, and seeing how slow-paced everything is. Everything's closed on Sundays. The town shuts down at 5 o'clock. The people were absolutely incredible, but watching that pace, I instantly told her, I think for me to slow down, I'd have to move somewhere like this.
Yeah.
I can't live in Lafayette and slow down.
No,
that ain't happening.
That's not possible for you.
I think slow down and more of the grandbabies.
Yeah.
I had my grandbaby stirring the pot and putting seasoning in it today. She's 4.
Yeah.
So I think now, I've raised 3 amazing kids and helped a few others along the way that we've raised, that we've taken in that wasn't ours, but they became ours.
Yeah.
I think now it's the focus is on the grandbabies, and make sure that, with all the craziness and bad in the world, make sure that they understand that it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
I think my focus now is, slow down a little bit and really work on those grandbabies.
That's great. I like to hear it. I want to add on to that. For you to slow down, you got to do something with your sister, Miss Tila, because she is a firecracker. Right?
She's something.
And Casey Hill, him too.
Yeah, Kate, my boy Casey, man, he was supposed to be here tonight.
Yeah.
Man. I love me some Casey, and Casey and I met people don't know this. We're really, really tight. And Casey and I are competitors at work.
Come on.
We work for competition companies.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you that my grandbaby is his goddaughter.
Yeah.
That's my godchild. And man, we love Casey, and you know, you become family, you know.
Right.
And
great guy.
And my sister, she's crazy, wide open. I love her to death. We love her.
Yeah. Right.
Man, when we were little, real young, man, we shared a room.
Come on.
I didn't want to. She let me. We had 2 single beds in the room. She let me share a room because that was my rock, man.
Yeah.
You know, and she's in the same boat me right now. Now our focus on grandbabies.
Yes.
You know, she loves her kids.
Yeah.
But not like them grandbabies.
Oh, yeah.
Hell,
My
we all
parents
love our
the same
kids.
way.
Oh yeah. So yeah, man, Tila, she's been a good sister. Love her to death. But she's wide open.
Yeah.
You can't tell her nothing.
No.
Ooh, she got a hard head.
Yeah,
but,
we see Miss Tila at Tim's Kitchen for sure.
Yeah.
So she's been great. When she found her, she was like, I said, hey, you know Rusty Noel? She's like, yeah, why? I said, because I'm going to be interviewing him. I said, we're going to do a cookout.
She was ready to jump on you. You say something bad. Yeah.
She said,
that's
got my brother.
back.
Yeah.
She's definitely got my back.
Yeah.
And then we have another brother that just moved. He moved back about a year ago from Tennessee. Matter of fact, he was at my house today. He's totally opposite from all of us.
Come on.
Quiet. He come to work with us at Eaton Oil Tools, and right off the bat, they said, man, he ain't nothing like you. I said, man, all the shits I don't give, he gives them all. He's that guy. He's that guy. Yeah, he worried about everybody's feelings, make sure everybody's all right, and yeah, he's something, man.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to have him here. I don't like the situation why he's here. You know, he lost his wife. It was just them two, and I know he suffers with that every day because they were it, man. It was them two and the 2 dogs that he's blessed to still have up in the mountains. And you know, I tell him all the time, I hate the circumstance he's here, but I love having him here.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
It's fun to have him just pop into your house, you know, and being able, other than, you know, being in Tennessee and you see him twice a year, you know, so it's really cool to be able to have him that close, you know.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be that close, all of us that close together.
Yeah.
Tila's daughter is like a daughter to ours.
Oh, yeah.
I walked her down the aisle for her wedding.
Wow, really?
One of my, man, I tell people, one of my life's most proud moments when your niece asks you to walk her down the aisle. Man, that's just a huge honor that you're like, man, that's just, you know, how can I be more honored than, you know, having a daughter that's not your daughter, but ask you. I was like, oh, I didn't hesitate.
Huge
man.
part in her life.
Oh, absolutely.
For her to say that to you, you played a huge role
absolutely.
in her life.
I've always tried to take care of all my nieces and nephews, you know, and you know, we didn't have a big family, and I grew up with a kind of a broken family. You know, I say kind of a broken family. It was rough. Right. So that's my goal. I remember our kids kind of moved out the house a little later on in life. Yeah. And people would say, man, your kids still staying with you? Your kids ain't moved out? Man, they could live with me forever. Yeah. Come back with all the grandbabies. And some of them took us up on that. Right. And I don't care. Yeah. My kids know that they'll never have to worry about a place to sleep. That's great. That's great. Other people's kids know that they come to our house and know that they don't have to worry about a place to sleep. Yeah. But man, I think, you know, family's a blessing, you know, and the older you get, you truly understand. And you know, when you're young, you get in an argument or this and that, and now you realize, you know, hey, look, it ain't that serious. You know, family. The older you get, the more you appreciate it. Yes. And man, we're definitely blessed with our family. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you guys are continuing to do this, and you guys are just making a big unit. I'm gonna close it out on this one though, because look, this is he was cooking. I was gonna wear the cookout shoes. I got the cookout shirt and everything like that, you know. So he's sponsored by Grandpa's or Us. Yes. So you see these, look, Mr. Rusty don't dress like this. Maybe he should. These are comfortable, all right. But you know, Mr. Rusty, I want to thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to sit with you and learn about you and support you guys and everything that you do. So, you know, just thank you for that. And if there's anything that you guys need, please let us know. And we're going to continue to support you every way that we can right now. I'm going to get you to a cook-off with me. Oh, yes. I was jealous, man. I was hearing y'all with y'all's air horn and throwing down, and I told her, I said, man, that looked like way more fun than we're having over here. I was jealous, and people were calling me, man, I went over there looking for you. Y'all's tent was wild. And I'm like, man, I know.
Oh yeah, we had to make sure that everybody knew we were there for you guys, and without you, we wouldn't have been able to do that. And we had fun, and we want to do it again. So
y'all killed it, but man, we got to collaborate and get one of these big cook-offs together.
We're gonna do that. Me, you, Trent, Casey. Josh, Casey, all of them. Vance, we're gonna do it. Maybe Mike can even come with us.
We're gonna bring the bell and the air horn this time, man. I got a bell that we ring, boy, and they hate that bell.
Woo, they gonna hate us because we're gonna make sure
we did that Lake Charles cook-off. They sold 720 tickets.
Damn.
And we had 680 People's Choice Awards. Everybody got one ticket. You couldn't go buy a ticket. We had 680 People's Choice Award, and everyone that went in there, they had the McNeese softball girls because it was their fundraiser in the Rotary Club.
Right.
So they had them working the booth. Every ticket went in, they started ringing that bell. Man, them people were ready for us to. I said, man, we're never going to be back allowed in Lake Charles again. They're ready for us, get our trophies and that bell, and get out of town.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man.
We're going to do it.
We're going to do it. I'm excited for it.
Absolutely.
Look, y'all going to catch us. We're going to be there. We're going to let y'all know when we're going to be doing the cookout and everything. Until then, we're going to see you guys on the next one. This is Mr. Rusty Noel. I'm Tim Davis. This is Louisiana on Fire. Catch you on the next one.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, man.
What's up, Louisiana? Thanks for watching another episode of Louisiana on Fire. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Oh, and don't forget to hit that bell so you can be notified for the next episode.